Hello and welcome to this special video. I'd like to start this video by thanking all of you out there for helping me reach 1,000 subscribers. I never thought I'd reach that amount. I just filming what I did as a hobby, so I thank everyone for helping me reach that milestone. I'd also like to thank everybody for the positive feedback I've had for some of the videos, especially the Trash to Track series. The Garden Railway seems to have been very popular, and also the layout updates in the railway room. There's a lot more content to come on the channel, lots more Trash to Track episodes, lots more layout updates. We've got to finish the Garden Railway. I'm going to be DCC fitting older stock, trying to give you some tips and advice on how to save some money, and doing a few experiments, hopefully, which I think will improve some of the locos in my fleet. I've also got a few kits to build, etc. So there'll be a lot of stuff coming up on the channel soon, a lot of variety. What I'll do now is I'll give you a tour of the layout in its entirety, showing you some of the bits we've seen before, like the seawall and the viaduct scene, and show you what's coming up in future videos. Right, I'll start the tour of the layout on one of the most popular parts of the layout, one that's gave me a lot of positive feedback and comments, and that's the seawall section. If you look back in my videos, there is a video detailing how I built this. I've started just recently to add people. These are all waiting to be glued down, and I'm going to start doing some more detailing on the beach, adding some gloss varnish so it looks like the tide, and also the waterway there. The hidden sidings for the DMUs are underneath the cliffs, and as you can see, I've started detailing the tops a bit more. So we go along the seawall, along the detailed beach, come to the access hatch for the tunnel. This is usually covered with this lichen stuff, but over the winter and doing stuff on the layout maintenance, it's all been moved, so that will need to put him back. On the headland there, you've got the lighthouse that I built, again detailed in a previous video, and then it comes round to the end of the beach here, where the shops and deck chair hire places are. And this part here particularly was inspired by Dawlish Warren, where you walk under the railway to get to the beach. So right, well, whilst we're this side of the layout, we'll just show you this side of the harbour. Scale scenes, container ship and the Dapol dock cranes, and various other bits. The harbour's going to take some doing. This will be a video in its own right eventually when it comes out. All the sidings do work, but as you can see from the cobwebs, there's not been much action on here recently. There are several small boats in the harbour, and I think once the water texture's down and the wall is all done and weathered, it will look pretty good. Also got this big 1/72 scale lifeboat that's just about in scale. A bit too modern for my era, but it just looked too good to not have, so that sits on the quayside there, awaiting the inevitable emergency. Coming from the seawall, we have this scenic break. There's a hatch here for the fiddle yard. There's a 2-road fiddle yard in that single tunnel for DMUs to service the branch line. The line comes round here into this village, which also featured in its own video. A lot more detailing to be done on this part of the layout. It is pretty basic at the moment, and there are pieces like this, fencing and stuff, which has been damaged by placing various things on the layout when I shouldn't have done. And that goes round to this nice scenic viaduct section with the stream. Again, more detail is to be added with trees and stuff, and then there's a scenic break. We'll have a look at that from the other side. And one part I like about this bit of the layout is my workbench actually sits underneath the layout, so I can sit here watching trains go round whilst I'm doing various things or filming parts for Trash to Track. Right, now what we'll do is we'll go underneath and I'll show you the harbour station area from the other side. Right, now with this side of the harbour, we'll have a quick look at the station area. So this is Abbots Newton main station. We've got a Loco storage head shunt there with a couple of odd bits of rolling stock in it. This will be the station forecourt with the car park, and then you've got the main station itself, Abbots Newton. I was running these vans round as part of the running session, but they're all stopped now because the long wheelbase on these wagons, they keep derailing on crossovers and double slips, so I need to modify the wheels on them. But the whole rake itself looks pretty good behind the 58, which is a shame. The main station building is a Metcalfe product with the parcel bay, and then eventually there will be a parcel depot here, a low relief one for the parcel terminal. You can see over there again overview of the sidings in the harbour area, and there's a few more rail served industry there with the Dean goods that featured in the first episode of Track to Track. That needs further modification actually, because it does run, but it needs some adjustment to the weight on the tender. There's a few more sidings there with the military train in it, and then that leads over to that scenic break, that side of the viaduct, just to break the scene up a little bit. So that's the overview of the station area. You can fit a scale length HST in those platforms, scale length 7 car rake for cross country services. You could fit 8 in at a push, but 7 car fits just nicely. Then you've got the parcels depot, and then this takes you into the yard. See, the line comes back over there. Where them house backs are, I think I'm going to have allotments. I don't think I'm going to have the houses and that there. I think that's going to be more countryside specific. And then we've got what I like to call the scenic fiddle yard, really. It is like a through yard, but this is subject to some more redevelopment, which will come up shortly. This end of the yard, I did have the Loco depot here, with this head shunt and an abandoned peak, but I really want some more stock storage, so what I'm going to do is these are going to be lifted, and then where I've moved the engine shed to, the diesel depot is going to sit somewhere like this with a fuel in road, and the line will come along here and connect to the head shunt to allow locos in and out of the depot without and these, where this 40 and 31 are, these will be sidings for passenger stock, all wagons. So the main twin track continues around the back there, over to the lift up section, which is a bit of a bone of contention for me. I just move Gordon back slightly. This end of the lift up section where the hinges are, never any problem with alignment, but this end always seems to move. Now the main lines are okay, but as you can see there, this line and this line always tend to move. You line them up in the winter, then come summer they've moved again, so I've got to find a different way of lining this end of the baseboard up. Going around to this part of the layout, this is going to feature in the next layout update video. This is the scenic bit I'm working on at the moment, or have been over the past couple of months actually, but with everything else doing Trash to Track and everything else, it's taking a bit of a back seat, but hopefully within the next couple of weeks I'll crack on with this. I won't be laying the pouring the canal yet because the weather's not right, but I'll come to pouring that hopefully in the spring. Going to have an interesting cameo on this bit, but I won't go into too much. And then it comes around to this intermediate station here, which is also a joint station with the preserved line. Any regular viewers will know that that goes outside into the garden, and featured in a video last year where we built it up, me and my son, and we had a good running session. But having a preserved line on the layout allows me to have various bits of rolling stock, like a fully green BR Class 20, USA tank, the Lima rail car there that I also featured in the video, to all sorts of steam engines like Lord Nelson, and the green DMU. The sheds are Hornby sheds. The premise being that this old preserved line used to be a colliery line, and that used to be the wagon works. And I built these with magnetic roofs. Whoops. Always when you're filming. So you can take the roofs off and have a look, and the interior is detailed, but it's got to be continued. I need to add a floor, need to add a lot more detail in these sheds. As you can see, there's quite a bit of stock in there that we used to run outside when the weather was warmer. And that brings us back round to the junction. We've got this junction here. I've recently replaced that double slip, so it needs ballasting. And then you've got the main line connection with associated ground frame, and that's it. So all in all, it's the entire place is 16 foot by 17 foot, and it gets a good running length. So we'll run some trains now and let you watch the trains running around. well, I hope you enjoyed that tour of the layout and the running session. I've said it already, but I'll say it again. Thanks for all the support you've given me over the last 18 months. And I'd also like, again, to extend my thanks to my wife, especially, for putting up with models in the house and for me being out here playing trains when there's other things that I could be getting on with. If you do like what you see, hit the like button. Share the video with your friends. Share it on social media. And also, if you haven't already, subscribe. There'll be a lot more content on this channel coming soon. So all the best until next time. I'll see you later. And in there's Sarah. Sarah, she don't like me being out here. She'll come to the door and go, hey busy, enjoying playing with toys. That's what she'll do in a minute, I can guarantee it. Hello.
I hope you still
and welcome
after this boring.
Welcome to my